remember the name of the team. Shut up. So we have two. Oops. What a professional I am. So we have team Direct Strikers on the left, and on the right it's a team. It's Team Shark. So Team Direct Strikers on my left and Team Shark on my right. The ban are Tychus and Mengsk. I'm not sure which team have banned which. I don't know much about. It's a long time I haven't played with Apocalypse and Demi, so I'm not sure what are their favorite commander. I cannot comment on that much. So let's start and look at the matchup first. So we have on the top right Apocalypse, which is Sukov, which will be playing versus Abathur. I will introduce the name instead of introducing the three players of the same team. I will introduce the matchup first. So we have a Sukov versus Abathur. We have Artanis versus Sukov, and we have Abathur versus Nova. So both teams choosing Abathur, both teams choosing Sukov. Only Nova and Artanis differentiate. So interesting that they pick the same commander. Abathur is clearly seen as one of the. Is the sound of the game? Let me first. I don't hear the sound much. Is it loud enough for you? Sorry. Both teams choosing Abathur, which is seen as a very strong commander right now. So Tornado Joe's open with Stormhost, so he'll try to strike right at the beginning. And so Abathur versus Nova, it will be interesting to see how this is played. There is a lot of different ways to play it for both commanders. As the Stormhost was on the side, it will go past. Nova is still tier 1, so she won't have detection right now. So the Stormhost will stay alive and will not be alive. I missed something here. Sukov opening Banshees and Civilians versus his opponent Abathur. Abathur's probably taking and trying to see what will happen or how will Sukov play, because Sukov might have several tools that he can use. He can go for early Apocalypse, he can use Banshees, he can use tanks, he can use Civilians and Volatiles, all are very good options. And the other Sukov does the same. He goes for Banshee. I think he's blind because Artanis hasn't revealed yet, and that might be a mistake, because Artanis can deal with the Banshees. At least he has some tool to deal with it. But this kind of opening is very, very aggressive. Let me check the sound volume. No, it's too loud. Right here it should be better. This opening is very, very aggressive because he can pressure on the bunker. Remember that the range of the cloaked bench is 14 and the range of this is 17, but yet he doesn't have detection, and he can put pressure on the bunker very, very, very early. And you can see the bunker is almost about to go down. But will it go down? Sukov has no anti-air. The bunker is going down, and it's the early bunker. Fine. So 120 mineral for the team south. I will call it. And the Ravagers pushing. So Ravagers versus this kind of compo. So he wants to be able to snipe the Banshees with the Ravagers. And now, oh, this is interesting. He opened Archons versus the Infested Banshees. Archons are kind of good versus Banshees because they can feedback. But remember, this one has only 50 energy, so it's not a huge feedback, and it has a lot of HP, a shit ton of HP. So feedback is suboptimal versus those kind of Banshees. It works much better versus Duskwings. But it's an all-round unit that can be very versatile in the matchup, and I think he's choosing the path of safety. And now the Mutalisks are doing their job. So we have a Mutalisk versus Nova committed to ground. I didn't see that, and Tornado Joe immediately took advantage of this mistake, and now he's doing Mutalisk, and it will be very, very hard for Nova to go back into the game, because Nova is very scared about Abathur's Mutalisk. I mean, he can go Ghosts, she can go Marines. Ghosts are usually preferred. But if she reacts too late, like this is the case right now, it can take a lot of time for Nova to catch up with the fight. And remember that at the point she has catched up, Abathur can always go convert the Mutalisk into the Guardians. I can see that Abathur is keeping the biomass. I'm not sure why. For what? He has a plan in mind. I know this one is the other one. It's this Abathur. Ah no, he used it. Okay, they both used it. So Nova versus Abathur. No, of course. Oh, the Raven comes. The Raven comes. Huge. That's one is not enough, but two might be enough to do some damage with the missiles. It might require some micro, but for now, Nova is getting wrecked on the ground because she committed way too early versus an Abathur. Uh, we have the other fight here. Some good builds, very good builds. The Ravagers get wrecked of the leaks, and he and the benches are kind of annoying, so he doesn't have enough buy for the benches, but he almost cleared them. So Team South is still pushing. Now we have some stack with a couple Banshee which are left and some honor guards for the Diamondbacks and the Archons for clearing the Banshees, and it worked with a storm, very good storm on the Banshees. And now they're pushing into this ground, and oh, that will be very bad for Nova, but at least there is a tank stacking behind the bunker, and that will be an opportunity for them to stack them, because the tanks will also be good versus all Abathur's ground, and if the Muta dies on the bunker like this, that it will probably happen, the tanks might stay alive, and this might change a lot, even though versus this composition, tanks are not that useful. I know I see the Apocalypse, and as Abathur, I'm really scared when I see an Apocalypse, because Abathur doesn't have a lot of unit to deal with the Apocalypse, at least not early ground, and even late game. It's very difficult for Abathur to counter Apocalypse. Apocalypse counter kind of everything Abathur has. He has only soft counters. He tried to bile it, he tried to destroy it, but remember, this has huge AoE, and this is very scary. Versus both air and ground, but now we have a stack. I mean, one bunker is still alive. The Diamondbacks are fighting, but this is not enough. Artanis is racking this Stukov. And actually no. The Diamondbacks doing the DPS, and the Harkons, which doesn't have that much HP, are kind of died here. So we are one gas for almost every player here. Only this Abathur is playing YOLO and pushing. Did he went for more? Did he add the tanks? Yeah, see, now he has two Ravens. He's confident. Maybe too soon, and he added the tank. That was probably too early, because now the Mutalisks are just getting back and giving this early advantage. But it's true that he has his next player doing Ravagers, and that kind of protects versus the Mutalisks. And also, as they still have their bunker, the bunker kind of protects them against Mutalisks, because if there is only anti-ground unit, the Muta will go to the bunker if it's inside. Okay, so now he's adding bunkers. Bunkers are very good versus Artanis, and it might do some kind of front line to help them to deal with the Archon, but the Archon are still doing great here, and we have the biomass. Tell me if something is wrong about my stream, about the sound or anything. No. So the Swarmos is stacking, and you see the golden Swarmos. Now there's two of them, and this is very scary for Team South. The tanks might be able to stack and might be able to defend, but Ghost is added. So now he's adding some anti-air. He realized the danger of those Muta, even though those Muta will prioritize the cannon if there is no more anti-air. They are very scary. The Muta are very scary, and they are convertible. Remember this. They are convertible. So he tried to snipe the Apocalypse with the Ravagers. This is really, I mean, he does great. He does great by doing that. He does really great. He's a very nice defense, because Apocalypse are very good. But he would probably add a second one. No, he's not saving. He's adding volatiles. He want to. Oh, and a Brutalisk. Brutalisk, very good answer. I like it. Brutalisk versus Apocalypse are actually a good answer. That is kind of cost efficiently, or kinda. It's one of the counter you can do, one of the reaction you can do. And what I like also is that it can also deal with the other type of unit, with the other ground. Brutalisk are very tanky. The missiles here, you can appreciate the micro on the missile with the Muta, but as I explained, he didn't took the Muta threat seriously. He added the Ghost way too early, and he's still adding tanks. He tried to, I mean, this is a strategy. He say, hey, I want my tanks kind of stack. The Muta will focus the the photo cannon. So I'm just adding tanks, and I will just help my ally. I will just play my role as an anti-ground, and I will accept that I might leak some mutas, and the bunker will take care of it. But here the Apocalypse stayed alive, and this is very scary. You know, the muta, the swarm host, the Apocalypse, the Bruta didn't do that well. The bunkers are not good versus Apocalypse, because Apocalypse has a shit ton of base armor. He has 5 base armor, and this does 6 damage, so it does basically 1 damage. It's like 80% damage is negated, and now Team 1 is pushing the we can see Artanis adding immortals. They help to push into the tank line. They're kind of scared of this tank stack. They're kind of scared, but no, the Vipers answers for the tanks. That's very good. And now he blinding cloud. He used the tongue, and they're pushing very hard. And now the second Swarmos is also here. The Banshees. They want Team South want to create a stack at the photon cannon. He added a lot of tank. Team North is adding a lot of anti-stack. They are adding immortals. They are adding those things that are not a stacking unit. They are stack breaking units, and here he has adding mutas and vipers, and so Team North is extremely offensive while Team South is extremely defensive. And the muta pushes a lot of Archons right now. Archons that are pushing into Nova, and that might be the weakness and the reason why Artanis will have some trouble to push into Nova, because versus that line of tank, this army is not 100% optimal. Only the immortals are kind of optimized to push that. The Muta come, but the Muta will never attack the tanks. Thank God the heavy tanks come, and the Guardian transition is genius here. Guardians plus Vipers is extremely good, and it will also be useful to push into the next round. But right now the Team South managed to stack again some tanks. They try to the Brutalisk, the Apocalypse shoot the air. What is happening? He tried to snipe the air with the Ravagers. Are very good, nice micro. I think I can. Oh, there are too many upgrades. I won't show it. Oh, and the Tempest transition, and this is extremely scary. This is extremely scary for Team South, because those are now Team South has a good pushing power, and this one have ability to stack. But here Team South had stacked so much, so Tempest doesn't have really a window here to push or to stack. Only 3 ghosts here, but there are only 3 ghosts here, so he still took the air threat kind of light, but the tanks are stacking, dude. His strategy worked, kind of. But I'm really scared about this, because right now it's mid game, so he can still handle this. But late game, those Guardians might look very scary. But at least they take care of the ground, and they stack with the next army which is coming. The Muta here are very good to deal with Apocalypse in small number and spreaded. Even though Apocalypse shoot air, Muta are not very good. Maybe I overstated it, but they kind of are answered. A couple spreaded Muta can do a lot of damage versus the Apocalypse. And now the tanks are really stacking, and Team South is really pushing back. Do the sound is okay? It looks like. Okay, so the Tempest cannot stack at this point. They will die very easily versus that amount of infested Diamondback. The Guardians here trying to defend. Now Abathur, I mean, this Tukov has a very aggressive build, but this Abathur might have some potential to build a stack at the Nexus here, especially with the Vipers and the Guardians. Dude, I love this build. I love this transition. But it's true that Guardians are very useful into the game. Oh, +3 already for air. Yeah, but he has a lot of air. Guardians have a lot of potential to stack, but they are kind of underwhelming unit. If they cannot stack, they don't do much. And here they kind of stack, and enemy team cannot. And now the Tempest plus Guardians, it can be a very scary late game stack. And here I can see it kind of work for now. Even the Tempests are not optimal to push into that Tychus army, because Tychus has a lot of small units. It's also accompanied with a lot of Archons who deal with the small round. But here, this Sugaf has a lot of pushing power with all the Diamondbacks, and every round this Sugaf is destroying the Guardians and preventing them to stack. But hey, these Guardians are almost timed out. They stayed the whole wave. I mean, they did their job. And here we have the Vipers putting some really nice blinding cloud, and the other Guardians coming. Dude, I'm really scared from Team South. Team North managed to actually build a new stack, even though Team South are still tanks alive, and the ghosts are still alive too. And the ghosts are deadly for the Guardians. I mean, Guardians kind of outrange ghosts, so in that manner they kind of counter them. But if the ghosts kill the front line and can get close to the Guardians, they are extremely cost efficient at turning versus the Guardians. And here Team South actually defends very well, and they kind of managed to prevent that stack, even though the Abathur could kind of stack the Guardians at some point. But maybe they still have a hope to stack the Guardians and the Tempest at the bunker, but now they will be pushing for a while. I think it's see you in 3 minutes at the bunker and try to build a stack here, because Team South is pushing extremely hard. So you can see that Abathur is using now Biomass on the Guardians. It's his hope. Biomass Guardians plus the Vipers. He really wants to build a stack. We are pushing the Nexus. Oh, the Alexander, dude! Nova has nothing versus that for now. Nova has, but so Nova will probably add the Goliath now, just to be able to push. Alexander is a double-edged sword. He can also help the ally to stack here, and especially the tanks. But it's also a huge beast that can grab some units and gain time while the other units stack. I mean, it's synergized with a unit like Guardians who needs some kind of a frontline and tanky unit to be able to build a stack. And now they might be pushing back, but dude, this Stukov chooses the DPS way, and with all those Diamondbacks, it's a lot of DPS. So will he be able to break that stack? Oh, dude, there is too much air now. Tychus cannot counter that. And second round of Abathur is coming. This stack is really scary for me. I wouldn't want to fight that. No, and he is adding the Goliath, but dude, he doesn't have enough anti-air. Nova didn't. I mean, the strategy of Team South was, hey Nova, I'll deal with the ground, deal with my air. I think it was his, and it could have worked. I mean, it could have worked, but he's still adding ghosts now. He takes the air threat seriously. It could have worked, and it kind of worked for a long time, because the tanks were actually doing damage while the Muta were impaling themselves from the bunker, and they could build a stack that were pushing. But now Team North is doing a really late game stack, and it's not like tank stack. It's like Guardians, Stormhost, and Alexander and Banshees. It's like and Tempest. Look at the amount of Tempest now. This is very scary, and this can add with other stack that exists. I mean, Artanis needs that front line to be able to do, but if he can do, these Tempests will be devastating. And here I don't see a lot of option for Team South. He's adding a lot of Goliath. He's like, and the Ghost can EMP the Ghost actually very useful versus Blix. It's very hard for Artanis to push into that Nova, but the Tempest is a solution that solves every problem he had, because the Ghosts were countering the Archons, and the air was not very good. The air was not very good at first, but now the air stack for Team North is crazy expensive. It's crazy scary. But he does the Devours. Abathur take this seriously. He wants to do Devours. Nova is adding a lot of Goliath, and Stukov is adding Libs. I'm not sure about the libs here, but the good thing, the advantage of the libs is that they will focus our unit, which is not the case always of Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks don't always focus the air. They will focus that if there is a smaller unit. So that's, I guess, the logic in which he did libs. But libs are not very good versus that type of units, and unfortunately, they might like DPS versus that kind of army. But now there is a crazy tax tank, and this is the size of this tank stack is also due to Alexander, because Alexander is a beast and help to stack on both sides basically. But and the little thing that he trolled, the little oh, there was a queen. I like that. He used the Ocular Symbiote on the Alexander. I know. Oh, tanks! I like this. He built his own tanks. So So it will kind of destroy the eventual Goliath and the versus the bunkers and everything that here Stukov has. It might be good. Yeah, the bad thing about the Alexander, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, as I explained before. The thing he threw here on the ground, the little I think it's Marines, it might can have helped the tank to stacks, and that's why. And because of the hosts and because of the Alexander, the Nova is actually able to do a lot of damage with his tanks. So he's not maybe handling the air as well as we would have expect. But dude, for the ground, Nova is king here and extremely important for his team. He's like, as I explained before, he's just taking the the role of the air the air the ground breaker. But here the Goliaths are still kind of do something here now. The Vipers do, but not enough. Oh, here Blinding Cloud and Abathur come with his new meta. The Ravagers are all bile, and the Ravager can be deadly versus that stack also. If he can put some good biles versus the air stack, it can maybe break it. And Devours are also added. The tanks are still stacking. Dude, this game is very close. It's very close. Unfortunately, I will not be able to cast all of them. Maybe I'll even leave after that one, I'm not sure. Because, Apocalypse now come. Just that Stukov took a long time to go tier 3, a very long time. Much more than usual. It's very unusual for me to see a Stukov pushing tier 2 for that long, because Stukov tier 3 units are very powerful. But Apocalypse, he did that so that it kind of goes versus both air and ground, but now air is really the problem of Tier South. And yeah, it's good that the tank stack, it's good that they anti-air do something, but the anti-ground do something, but the anti-air here will be what would be missing. That might be missing, and that will kill us. I mean, more muta are added. Look at the amount of muta now, but yeah, they're fighting Devour, they're fighting Biles, so they're not maybe that cost efficient, but they kind of how do you say, they slow down the army and allow those units in the back to do damage meanwhile. And Apocalypse is now adding more tanks. He wants to be able to push also on the ground, because he knows that they're building a lot of anti-air. But look at this amount of tanks here. Tanks of Stukov are pretty expensive, but they're also pretty efficient. And they do bonus versus armored like all tanks, and they also have AoE that is very scary, maybe even more than normal tanks. I don't know, I'm not sure. But they are very good versus anti-ground. And here the stack is really good. And now I really like this tank move here. I mean, it really was complementary to every other unit in the stack that they were building. And now I don't see Team South coming back soon. I don't see enough anti-air. I mean, it's true that Stukov might lack some anti-air for breaking those stacks, but he went for a very late tier 3. He's defending. The contamination is put on the Nexus. They want to stack now. It's their windows. Contamination will help for the tanks to stack, for anything to stack. Is there a disintegration of the Nexus? No, there is no disintegration of the Nexus. Atlantis could not save one. Another contamination. Will it be enough? I don't think so. This Nexus is under pressure, and now the Apocalypse and all those Guardians shooting. Dude, this is crazy. This is very scary. I think the Nexus will go down. This amount of stack, and the Nexus is down. GG. Very well played from both teams. It was pretty impressive and a very close game. I liked a lot of back and forth. I loved how Team North. I mean, both teams really played the stack here, and at first Team South managed to do something, and and push, and it was very difficult for Team North to do it, and they built a kind of stack that they had a lot of trouble to build. Team North had a lot of trouble to build their stack. I will cast one more game and then I'll go, probably, except if it's very short, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm really disappointed to have to leave that early, but yeah, dude, I thought it would be, yeah, I cannot. Just reading the chat. What the hell I'm watching? Tournament level game here. Yes, I'm very surprised. Both teams played extremely well. And what I was telling, yeah, I loved how both teams were trying to build stack and kind of tried to Team North really tried several times to build a stack and couldn't realize YUgeh was breaking that stack. But that YUgeh stayed tier 2 for a long time. But it's also true that for a long time YUgeh was the one who was breaking Team North stack and who was preventing them to build that critical mass of Guardians. And that was pretty impressive. And at some point Team North could do it. I mean, at first the Viper helped, but at some point not that much. It was not enough. Something was wrong with that, and the fact that at some point there was enough Tempest, the fact that the Vipers helped, the fact that at some point he had the tanks, the Alexander also, the Alexander helped a lot actually, even though it was kind of at first it was difficult because it was also helping the tank to stack, but then they could do it in the air, and those Guardians, they could stack like never. I mean, almost every round they were like almost timeouts because they were here for too long. Yeah, I'll play only one more because there seems to be a lot of delay between the games. Yeah, but it's also true that a Guardians that cannot do that, a Guardians that cannot stay alive for more than one fight, is not a rentable, is not a cost-worthy unit, because Guardians are really suboptimal in terms of they do no DPS. If you cannot let your Guardians alive for long enough, it's really not worth it. And that's why it took a long time for Team North to really build that stack and be able to Team North really managed to do something that to protect those Guardians, and the Alexander was key in that point, I think. Even though the Alexander was kind of also dangerous, and some people might have disagreed with that move, but truth is that here it's kind of helped because Team South was really overwhelmed, and they didn't want to do I mean, YUgeh was really weak at some point versus the air, and he didn't have a lot of tools. He did an Alexander at the end, but you cannot break a stack like this with Alexander. And he was kind of, I felt he was kind of helpless. And it's true that YUgeh doesn't have a lot of tools to deal with that. Maybe Queens to deal with that, with a stack of Guardians like this. But the Libs weren't really not efficient, not that efficient, and the Apocalypse. Did I say Alexander? Maybe sometimes I'm mixing up units, but the Apocalypse that YUgeh Team South did to break the air stack, I think was really. I mean, it could have been good for the ground, but here he did it at the end when the problem was purely the air. He noticed that the Diamondbacks were focusing the ground. He noticed that they were not enough. He noticed that the Libs were suboptimal because Libs are really anti-mutas or anti-light and small units. So he said, yeah, maybe Apocalypse. And it's true that YUgeh doesn't have a lot of tools, but maybe I think Queens would have helped differently here. But it's YUgeh, it's kind of his weakness, so he was relying on his army for that. And Nova is not that good versus the Timecat. Nova can get overwhelmed easily. So the only hope was really on Abathur. Abathur was the commander who has the most tools to deal with that kind of air stack. But yeah, Abathur also had to deal with the ground, and Abathur was facing a YUgeh with Apocalypse, and Abathur has really little tools to deal with Apocalypse. And but Team North didn't have that many AA. Yeah, there was the Archons also. That was deadly for the Muta. Because I would have said that. Team South. Yeah, I will. Maybe I won't. I won't even. I need to live in. I need to live in 25 minutes approximately. So I'll cast one more if it's short enough. If we start soon enough. Game hasn't started yet. Maybe it's starting now. Maybe it's finally starting now. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand that teams need to discuss strategy slightly between games, and that's totally okay for me. I don't mind. It's just that today I don't have much time, and I was so hyped to see this series, and I probably will see only 2 games. But yeah, I can cast one more. Last one will be casted afterwards. What really annoys me is that there is a 5 minutes delay. Can be changed. Yes. Um, so now the 2 teams switch. Yes, I was about to say that um, except for the Archons that were EMP'd very late game when they were pushing, when Team North was pushing, the Archons were EMP'd by the Ghost. And except for Archon, Team North didn't have a lot of counter to Mutalisks. It was very good versus all the air stack they had. Alexander is kind of suboptimal to deal with that because his tentacle cannot really and Tempests are vulnerable to mutas. Guardians are vulnerable to mutas, even though mutas tend to not prioritize them. And yeah, that could have been a tool, and the Devours were definitely a very good tool too to deal with that. But he could just not break the stack for everyone. Yeah, it's a shame I need to leave. Is everyone ready? I hope so. I want to. Why? Yikes. Hello, Craig. Hopefully they take less time starting game Saturday. Why stream delay if casting from replays? Not casting from I can think that positively they had both awkward plans. The first team had no hero commander and only won because the other team didn't know how to handle leaks. Their team has no synergy and relied on stacking. Nova made anti-ground against air army. Yeah. Yeah, but it's kind of worked early. It's just at some points he should have changed his strategy. I mean, I agree with you, but early game it kind of worked. But at some point I mean, at first I was surprised he didn't take the the air transition seriously because I'm Nova. I'm always scared of Abathur's air. But then I have to admit it worked. It worked. They have been pushing for a long time. But then when they all Team North went full air, he took a lot. He was still adding tanks, and this to me was he was risky. It was really risky to do that. He didn't took the air threat seriously. I think that's the biggest mistake of Team South. Oops. They didn't took the air leak seriously. Okay, so Team North. Now they changed time. We have a Forazon versus Artanis. Interesting. Good. Nice. I like it. We have oh nice second position Statman. I love to see this commander played in high level games. Statman versus Rainer. Oh my god, this might be nasty. And third position we have Phoenix versus Abathur. Oh, 3 good matchup. I mean, I only see one hard counter here is that Statman is really good versus Rainer. Statman is really good versus Rainer. Other team are it's all yeah, I would say it's all doable. Even though Artanis can have trouble versus Forazun, but it's really manageable. So let's see how it does. Swarm host opening. and Stalker's opening. Stalker's very aggressive opening here. You see 0 gas, 3 Stalkers. This is the most aggressive build you can do. And I think Team North really want to close the game fast now. Oh, actually, no. Setman is not building. No, Setman is not building because he's... What the fuck is he saving for? He's going straight for... he wants to hide. Maybe he wants to go straight for Super Gary, I don't know. But he wants to hide. And Phoenix putting his 0 down, that's logical. And here we have 0 gas too. 0 gas, 0 gas. Actually, this is a very aggressive play from both players. They all want to get that. And you see that blink back. This guy wants to stack his Stalkers. He wants to put pressure on the bunker. Will it work? Is the sound of the game good for you? I think so, right? Tell me if there is something bad with the sound. Okay, please. So Rainer go bio and this is gonna be nasty. This is gonna be very nasty. Even though he's going straight for Super Gary, and this is really a good move. I would totally agree with that. And this is very scary for Rainer. Rainer is still pushing tier 1, and when I see a Statman, I want to go fast tier 3 as Rainer to snipe this shit with Yamato. Even worse if there is... Oh my god, Team South will really struggle early game. I mean, those hosts might save them. Maybe they can build a stack at the bunker. But dude, Team South will have trouble because of this. Super Gary will be coming soon, but not this round, so it will be another round of delay. And now there is a Dragoon, which is also an aggressive opener versus Forazun, but Dragoons actually kind of trade efficiently versus Forazun Stalkers. At least, yeah, they trade kind of efficiently. So it's not bad. You can see he uses the Guardian Shell on the Dragoon, and they help to push into to defend versus and now he does Viking. This is it's not the way I played. But now Team South is pushing pretty hard. And Phoenix tried to break the stack. The bunker is already half HP. Did they all put their turrets? I see very few turrets here. Dude, put your turrets. I mean, no, maybe and Mutalisk, so this is very scary, but he has a lot of adepts, so I don't think this is really will be efficient versus Phoenix. I'm still very hyped for Team North here. I think Team North has a real potential to really end the game soon, especially because of the mid, and he has Banshee. He's really not scared about Super Gary. I mean, this is surprising, because this Marines and Viking won't kill Super Gary. I already told you, even less because there is Leaks now. But now there is also Lynx. Lynx will feed Super Gary if they are not too far. Yes, Super Gary will be fitted. He has the base oil ability, so the attack speed will increase, and now Team North will be pushing very hard. I mean, this is a very aggressive play. This is a very aggressive play on an easy lane, and this is normal. But dude, I'm really scared for Team South now. It will be able to defend. I mean, the hosts are stacking at the bunker, and that's always a very tough thing to beat, especially early game. Here we are at less than 5 minutes, so it's still very early. The bunker might defend, but dude, no, the bunker! Oh my god, oh my god, the bunker went down. It's on 5 minutes, and Team North is still pushing. They are still pushing very hard, and an aggressive blink. Oh, why? I'm not sure why. He wants maybe to... I don't know. Doing an aggressive blink like this is nice to snipe units. It's also nice to build a concave, but it can also make your stalker be killed instead of stacking. What is this bile? You want to bile this, no? It also prevents your stalker from staying alive that long. I mean, the strength of the stalker is that they can stay alive very long, because the automatic blink is very good, and they will blink at the right time just to stack. But here but I think this was a mistake, and I think this is what allowed. I mean, this plus the orb that was kind of mismanaged allowed Team South to really come back. And now we have a lot of hosts. You see those hosts stacking the golden hosts. Golden hosts are very scary, but with all those ground, he will also be very vulnerable to any tier. But he's not taking he's not taking to Colossi. But he is really opening a real weakness, because here teams. What is this fucking? That is the worst hole I've seen in a long time. all the three south team are very vulnerable to Warbringer. Warbringer per Super Gary here, or Warbringer or Colossi. Well, all three armies are very vulnerable to Colossi. So they have a very huge weaknesses. Colossi are just too good versus Swarmhost and also these ground units. And I'm kind of scared that, but here there is no transition. Yeah, when you do a hold, you really want to be able to kill what's inside. If you're not able to kill what's inside, it's not a good hold. And usually you shouldn't use it for yourself, especially if you're not air. As for Azun, you use it for one player who has DPS, but who has AoE. But it's true that here nobody has AoE, maybe except Super Gary with his orbs. But now the air for us, the Farazun transitioned air, and this might be a bit scary. I mean, our nice blink to try to snipe the host here. Very good play, very good play. The hosts, the oracles are also very good at killing the remaining swarm hosts. And here Abathur goes tier 3. We know what he has in mind. He wants to go for that Guardians stack again. Much probably, yeah, there's no doubt about it. He wants the Viper, I think, first, maybe the Vipers, but then he will go Guardians. We're pretty sure. Team North managed to defend, and now he's using the. Oh, he forgot to use. You have to use your roach away before your charging protocol, but the charging protocol is very good on Super Gary, and as I explained before, Raynor has little tool to deal with Super Gary, so Super Gary stays alive, and this is very bad for Artanis. Even though now he goes Tempest, and Tempest will be able to orb, he just researched the disintegration and he will disintegrate that Super Gary. Well played, very well played for Artanis, who managed to do that. This will be very key to deal with the leaks for him. It will be also good for late game for Azun, who now go air, so the Tempest might be something that can be able. Here we have an offensive leak, and this one is a good one because he will be able to snipe the Tempest, and also the oracles dealt with the Raynor, and now he's pushing again. Will he do better with his Mecha Infestor? First the Roach away. I know he just disabled the Roach away. He wants to just use the tongue on his Super Gary, and one bile here. He should orb here because he wants to get rid of those. But now the production of Guardian stay, and I can already tell you that he will do the same strategy as before. Phoenix is here. He's microing it. You can see it. Now he will whirl. No, he's microing, but he forgot to use the whirl. Yeah, but the stress of this game is intense, is immense, and he has so many things to stick. Now we have DME is shielding all this unit. They want to create a stack. They're really scared. He actually shielded a small amount of unit because he's scared. He's afraid that these stacks will kill them. But now they're defending. The hosts are very annoying for Azun. Host is extremely annoying for Azun, and if Team South will be pushing, the host Farazun will have a lot of problem to deal with that, because except for the oracles, host counters everything Farazun has here, and Team South is really clearly building a stack now. And what will happen? And I have to leave when. Wait. I'll try to cast until the end, but I'm not. Yeah, I'll try to cast until the end. Team South is finally building that stack. Team North still have trouble to deal with that. It seems like Team North has always the same problem dealing with the air, and now the air is begin to be a crazy stack, and the Tempest will play the role what Raynor was missing with his BCs with Yamato. Now he has the Tempest doing that, and look, disintegration. He saved one disintegration for the Super Gary. Very nice play for him. The tongue is not enough to deal with all that DPS, and the Guardians are destroying the ground. And Statman is adding Hydra to say, hey dude, we have an air problem. I need to deal with that. And he's adding Hydra, but unfortunately the Guardians are really here. They're stacking like crazy, and they cannot deal with. They cannot shoot. I mean, too many Guardians killing the ground, and the Immortals are kind of useless here. He went for Immortals. Now he's adding Scouts, but the Scouts have this problem, is that they might focus the ground before the air, because Guardian stays in the back in this scenario. I mean, actually, the Void Ray is very good answer. Void Ray is the answer versus the air for most commanders. I mean, Forazon Air is the answer versus air for most commanders, and here it's absolutely the case. And here a hole, and this one is much better. Look at this perfect orb inside, and Team 1 could manage to break that sack 10 to that perfect hole, but Team South is still pushing. Now benches are added, the Vikings stays in the back. The hosts are helping the Viking to work here. The hosts are really helping the Viking to work, and Viking are also very good versus Phoenix. Dude, I'm really scared for Team North. Viking here are stacking with the exceptional range they have. I mean, you look here at the range upgrade, it's really good versus almost all three matchup because they all have hair, and Viking here is really the key now. He's adding more, and he understood. He understood what's happening here, so he know that now air control is an issue for Abathur. It's not that easy because he doesn't have that much anti-air. He's trying to stack Guardians, but he really needs the help of his ally to build the anti-air, because now Team North has done a lot of Void Rays. They have done Hydras, which are okay, and they have done Scouts. So though they have a lot of anti-air, and Abathur doesn't have much. I mean, they have a lot of air. I mean, I was willing to say that Team North have a lot of air now, and Abathur doesn't have a lot of anti-air except for his hosts, and he really relies on the help of his ally to do well. And if there is no ally, Abathur will not be able to deal with the opposite team's air. Team North managed to break the stack, and now they're pushing. Still no, but yeah, at this point air is too scary, so he cannot go Colossi anymore. But these Phoenix are stacking, and Guardians, as I explained before, are very good, but if they cannot stack, they're also very bad. And here they are getting destroyed. The DME launching the shield, try to defend himself. Tempest are a late game beast, and I'm really optimist that Team South can still save the game with the help of those Tempests and the help of those Vikings. I mean, both units have very. Oh, what was that landing? That's a mistake. He just corrected it now. He wants to kill the air first, but the potential of the two units are very high. Here now he lands. He wants to go up again and try to kill that Super Gary, but dude, that Super Gary is very strong. The tongue is used again. These guys don't want to use the roach away before using the tongue. He wants to be sure that the tongue is here in place, but and the hosts are still stacking, and there is no Colossi who deal with that. So Phoenix is still dealing well with all those scouts. They can deal with the Tempest, but Tempests are very scary. If Team South can defend for a significant amount of time, the stack of Tempest, Hosts, and Guardians will be unbeatable. But Team South has an opportunity to kill them right now. Team North has an opportunity to kill Team South right now. I think it's their opportunity, and if they do, either they do it now, either late game, it will be for Team South, just because of the composition, because of the nature of the game, because of the stack and the build. I think Team South with the Tempest and the commander they have much better late game potential. Here he could still kind of manage to deal with the bunker, but now there is also tanks, and there are the tanks plus the swarm hosts plus the guardians, a lot of different type of stacking units. So I'm seeing a Team South which is about to defend. Just Abathur has some trouble to deal with that Phoenix, even though there is no Colossi. Abathur cannot. Abathur is the players of the three who really needs the most his two allies to build his stack. He cannot build his stack if there is not a Tempest or another unit surviving. And now Team South is pushing even more with the Void Rays, tier 3 Void Rays that are cloaked. Remember that tier 3 Void Rays have this plus 15% attack speed bonus because they are cloaked. Every cloak link of Forazon has that. You can see Raynor diversifying his army to deal with the ground of Setman. He wants to add Firebat because of the of the Hydra. He knows that the survivability of his Vikings are key, but Statman is pushing. Vikings are not that good versus Super Gary, especially if there is a Corruptors. Why don't he add Corruptors here? I mean, dude, this would be very good versus the Guardians and the Mutats he's pushing now into, and even the Guardians. And they would be a guarantee that they would shoot air. That should be very, very good. But here Phoenix is pushing. He has a lot of firepower. This late tier 3 Phoenix, I mean, usually at Phoenix often go fast tier 3, but when he doesn't, usually he has a shit ton of firepower. And those scouts has a lot of firepower, but he's very scared of his Artanis axe. He knows that Phoenix, though, that very late game, Artanis will rape him with the Tempest. So it's now or never. Team South is still pushing. The Mecha Infestor is all about trying to feast any unit with his tongue. I mean, he's very horny, and the Void Rays are also a very scary late game unit. I mean, dude, late game they can stack very, very well. Here the Statman has a lot of anti-air, but the tanks here stacked a bit. How much do they have? No, they don't stack. He just built a shit ton of tanks. He wants to try to stack at the bunker because he knows that those tanks can deal with the Phoenix Statman's ground very easily. And Team South still building that, still trying to build that stack at the Nexus. Team North trying to break that, but without any success now. The all team gas, all team R2 gas right now. He's adding in dark accounts. Not sure why. Not sure if it maybe to control the biomass. Oh, yeah. Okay, Team South is really building a stack, and the Somos are very very annoying for him, extremely annoying. And not only they are extremely annoying, but he didn't build any Colossi, so they don't really have a tool. I mean, nobody has a real tool versus the Swarm Host here. Nobody has a tool versus Swarm Host here, because Statman best counter to Swarm Host is either Siege Air, like a Battle Cry Lord. Oh, nice, Scorchers. Either Ultra. Here it's Oracles, but they don't have. And here it's Colossi. So none of the 3 units of the Team North have built a tool versus Swarm Hosts. And Swarm Hosts are really annoying for most of. I mean, Swarm Hosts are very good versus almost all three players. I mean, the only exception is Phoenix. Swarm Hosts are not good versus Phoenix because Phoenix has Colossi. But if he doesn't, it's not. He's also vulnerable to Swarm Hosts. And I think the combination for Swarm Hosts plus a full air attack. I mean, look at this. Now he has a lot of air. He's adding a Leviathan to help his army to stack. The goal is to make his to protect his Guardians and make him stack better. And now Phoenix went for Clolarion. Oh dude, it's too late. Look at that stack. I mean, this is the most scary stack, is the one that involves a lot of different types of units. I mean, tanks, Swarm Hosts, long range, Vikings, and here the Vipers come into play, the Guardians. Look at the Blinding Cloud. This is very, very scary. The other army couldn't reach, but this amount of Void Rays at this point, it can become kind of good. Checking the upgrades. But will it be enough? Will it be enough for Team South to build a stack? I mean, they don't have a lot of units to build stack actually. If you look at the composition, there Team North has a stack breaker compo. They don't have Colossi. They don't have really range unit. Maybe so they don't have really an opportunity here to stack at the Nexus. So I don't say the disintegration on the Nexus on the Planetary Fortress. He can take 5 of them. So 1 will not be enough. But that's already 500 damage that will go on the Planetary Fortress, removing completely his shield. But dude, this type of stack. Look at those Vikings. They have a total. Team South has a total air control thanks to the Vikings, and I don't see how Team South. You see the offensive league. He tried to save the PF to make it survive. He wants, but the Blinding Cloud comes. The Leviathan are here to tank, and actually the Void Rays are maybe the unit. The Void Rays and the Carriers are unit that are the most likely to be able to stack at the bunker. They have a slightly longer range, especially with the upgrades. But will it be enough? The Void Rays stayed alive, so kind of, kind of. And here we have a Statman going for the kill with the Corruptors, and it kind of do something, but it's not enough. The host stays alive. The host stays alive, and this amount of Viking here is pretty scary. It's kind of. I mean, at some point, the more we are late in the game, the less Phoenix can do something versus that kind of stack of Viking. Just the Viking alone will be impossible to counter for Phoenix. Early game he can do. Does he have a conservator? He doesn't. He doesn't have a conservator. Conservator are very important because it's minus 25% damage for quite a couple seconds, especially if you're tier 3, and that changed quite a bit. Especially versus everything that shoot at you. But Team South is still defending. I mean, the stack of Team North is almost done. I think I don't see how Team South can really. I don't see how Team North could save the game here. I don't see it. But they are defending. They are still alive. But this amount of yeah, this is GG. Wow, what a stack, and Team North was pushing for so long. GG, well played. GG to both team. What time is it? Yeah, it is time for me to go. Dude, that was amazing. Yes. I will just wait for the 5 minutes so that the game finishes. I will stop the stream now. It was a pleasure to have you. I'm really pissed that I cannot stream the last game, but I will stream it after.